What's up, dude? I surprised you? Oh, what's up, buddy? Why didn't I come in here? Because Mom didn't know I was coming. How was work? How was work? Huh? Give me a high five. You want me to follow you home? Okay, come on, let's load up. What is going on? This is MOTOSARGE signing in. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys a review of the Cortech Scarab 2.0 winter gloves. So let's roll that intro and get on with today's video.
Make the call. Hard work, banging on the doors in the morning. Hard work, get up and let's go to work. Hard work, get back to the shoot. Hard work.
Well, all right, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to another video. If you are new to the channel, I bring you along with me as I merge my passions for photography and motorcycles. So if you like anything photography or motorcycle related, please click that like icon, hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, don't forget to ring that bell notification to get email alerts when I upload some new content. Like I mentioned in the intro, today I'm going to be giving you a review of the Cortech Scarab 2.0 winter gloves. You know, I've had these for about a year now. First winter was last winter, of course, when I was up in Birmingham and rode through some snowstorms, some ice. So they've seen drastic or dramatic temperatures and winds and pretty much whatever you could throw at the gloves they've seen in the last year. Right now I'm heading into work. It's about probably 42, 44 degrees outside. And normally I'm cruising at around 50, 55 miles an hour. And my commute's only about 30, 35 minutes in. And I will tell you, on these brisk mornings where temperatures are dropping sub 40, my fingertips do tend to still get a little cold by the time I get into work. But I am cruising at about 60 miles an hour. So I think that's kind of expected, especially with winter gloves that aren't heated. You know, although these do have 100 grams of thinsulate, you know, after a while, I think no matter what type of winter gloves you have, with your hands up in the elements, they are going to start to allow some of that to get through, and your fingers or hands will get cold eventually. You know, I do say they keep my hands relatively warm. Like I mentioned, you know, they have seen, you know, temperatures drop down into the teens, especially not when I've been down here in Columbus, but especially when I was up in Birmingham. I don't know why it gets so dang cold up there, but we had some mornings back last winter that were dropping down into like the 14, 15 degrees when I was heading into work with wind chill, you know. So it was really, really cold some of those mornings. My hands, you know, although I did have these on, my hands were really frozen by the time I got to work. And I think it's just because I got Apes, my hands are up in the air, and I really don't have anything to protect them except for these gloves. I don't run any liners in these just because I want to, you know, eliminate the bulkiness, or as much of the bulkiness as I can, of a winter glove. But I do think Cortech kind of, you know, hit this one out the park with these gloves, especially them not being, you know, heated gloves and just your normal winter gloves that don't have anything added to them. They don't limit my functionality of my hands. I'm still able to, you know, operate the same as I was if I'm wearing my mechanics gloves. You know, I still, you know, they do have a little bit more bulky sensation to them, but I can still feel all the controls of my bars. You know, I can move my hands around. I don't feel, you know, confined or constricted. You know, growing up, I snowboarded a lot, so I'm used to that bulky sensation on your hands with snowboard gloves. And if any of you out there have snowboarded, you know when you have your gloves on, it's darn near impossible to even, you know, buckle your boots in to your bindings in order to hit the slope. So I do appreciate the fact that these motorcycle gloves, these winter gloves, don't hinder my ability to navigate around my bars and controls. Man, it is a windy morning this morning. I hope that the wind's not adding too much wind noise to the video this morning, but I don't know where this wind came after. It's, you know, a crosswind right now, so I'm almost having to lean into it at times when it gusts. But it just makes for riding in the morning that much more fun, and ensures that I'm going to be that much more awake when I get into work, right? Now, I picked these gloves up from Revzilla.com for about, whoo, that semi was packing a punch with the wind gust. What's going on, brother? For about $85, $90. You know, so they're kind of on the scale. They do kind of cost a little bit more than some of the other gloves that you could possibly get online or at your local motorcycle dealer or motorcycle supply store. But I did want to invest in something that was going to give me a little bit more protection other than just keep me out of the elements. Now, Revzilla does do free shipping. You do get Revzilla cash if you spend $100. For every $100 you get $5 back. So of course when I bought these, because they were just shy, I added some other stuff to the cart to get $5 back. But that's just me, you know, any excuse I could get to add a little bit extra to either the Dyna or my gear, I'm going to take full advantage of. Now with these being $100, you do get 100 grams worth of thin slit, so they are going to keep your hands warm. They do have a waterproof liner in them, so they are going to keep your hands relatively dry as well. You know, they will break down, especially if you're on the interstate and you're in, you know, crazy thunderstorm or rainy weather. You will get a little bit wet, but I think they do their job as far as that. You know, this wind and these clouds are really starting to make me reconsider the idea of riding the bike into work today. Who knows? This afternoon we may be putting these gloves to the absolute test riding back home this afternoon. But anyways, these gloves, you know, they are made up of goat skin rather than cowhide. So I don't know if that is what keeps, you know, the ability to maneuver your hands relatively easily. I haven't had any other type of winter gloves, so I'm not sure what makes up the difference. But these are really, really soft and comfortable. So I would say, you know, the goat skin does, you know, give you a little bit more maneuverability, I shall say. Plus, these gloves, the tops of each knuckles, it's not like multiple pieces, it's one piece, but it's extremely flexible. And then it also has these pivot points at the back to allow for your hands to open and close pretty nice. Now, I did mention, you know, earlier, I picked these up because I have additional protection on them, other than just being your winter gloves to keep your hands out of the elements. If you look on the back, you know, the glove, it does have hard knuckles, and then also you have ulna protection as well up on the gauntlet portion of the glove. And that leads me to another reason why I really enjoy these gloves. Them being kind of your gauntlet style, they're able to come up and pull over your jacket to kind of eliminate or create, you know, a seal, I shall say rather, to keep the elements off of like your forearms, your wrist. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm riding, even if I'm wearing long sleeves, no matter what, they start to tend to, you know, ride up on my forearms when I'm at, you know, 60, 65 miles an hour. And when temperatures are below, you know, 40 degrees, that starts to hurt a bit on your forearm. So I do like the fact that these do have that gauntlet aspect to them, because it creates that seal around my jacket to keep them from riding up while I'm riding into work or on a leisurely trip, which is few and far between recently. Now, another feature these gloves have that I didn't realize it when I was purchasing them, but when I pulled them out the package, I did see it, and I had to look up exactly what it was. But on the side of your thumb, and I think it's on both, nope, on the side of your thumb on your left hand, on your clutch hand, has a windshield wiper. And I guess that makes sense, it's on your left hand. That way, if you're riding down the road, it's raining pretty bad, and your visor starts to kind of get to the point that you can't see out of it, you can still throttle into it, but then clean your face shield off. I mean, that's not something I have used, nor will I probably ever use, just because, you know, if the rain starts to beat up my face shield a little too much and I can't see out, I just look to the side and let all the water, you know, slide right on off and then right back to it. But I guess if you're into that kind of thing, you know, that is a neat feature. I mean, just because I don't use it doesn't mean it probably doesn't work. I just don't know if I'd ever reach up and clean off my visor like that. Now, since we're pulling up to a red light, there is a feature in these gloves that I did want to share with you guys, and it took me a while as the light turns green, but hopefully we'll hit this next light while we're riding through Columbus. But it's, you know, these gloves, although they're extremely bulkier than your summer glove, they do have the touchscreen tip on your throttle hand. Now, if you watch some of the reviews on, you know, Revzilla, they do say it's in both the index and the thumb. So you have the ability to zoom in, zoom out, especially if you're looking at maps or trying to figure out where it is that you are trying to go. But I have noticed, you know, I don't know if it's because I bought mine a little bit too big, but when I'm trying to use it with my index finger, it doesn't work. So I have to navigate my phone with my thumb when I'm stopped or pulled over on the side of the road or something like that to figure out, you know, where it is I want to go or do whatever it is I need to do on my phone. I should have stopped at that light so I could show you, but yeah, oh well. Anyways, yeah, if you guys want to watch that kind of feature, RevZilla does talk about it, and it does have that ability to do so. It's just harder for me to do it with my index finger. I tend to have to use my thumb all the time, and it's right on the tip of that throttle hand glove. Now we're about 20 minutes into my ride, and I know earlier in the video I did talk about how after a while my fingers start to get a little cold. This morning it is about mid-40s, and I have been riding about 55-60 miles an hour, and 20 minutes in my fingertips are starting to get a little cold. Not unbearable, not like I'm wearing, you know, some other types of gloves. It is, I definitely do still have the ability to, you know, navigate the controls on the handlebars, but it is starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable. So although it does have the 100 grams of Thinsulate, I would say, you know, if you're going to be riding long distances in extreme cold temperatures and you have these gloves, you definitely are going to probably want to invest in some liners as well. But I'd say overall, if I were to, you know, look at investing into a winter glove again, I would probably purchase these again. They have done exactly what the manufacturer says they will do. I do think, you know, they are a glove that's going to hold up in the elements. They're going to last you a while. They feel like they're constructed really well. I haven't seen any fray in the stitching or anything like that. I do like that it is a dual entry glove too. It has, you know, a strap around your wrist, and then as well a strap around like the ulna protection area. So it is dual entry, so that, you know, helps keep a lot of the elements and cold out. And they're not extremely bulky. That's the last thing I wanted, is some big old bulky glove that just feels like I'm gonna lose my handlebars while I'm riding. Oh, and another thing, I'm also able to reach up and still navigate, you know, the record button on the GoPro. So if you guys, you know, are out there and you're motovloggers, you understand, especially if you don't have a remote or a way to turn your GoPro on and off, doing that sometimes can be a bit challenging, especially when you're doing it in the winter time. But these gloves, I'm still able to reach up, feel the button, and make sure I get that record going when I'm trying to do so in my video. So I do think that that is a bonus for motovloggers. If you're looking at a winter glove and you're a motovlogger, check these things out, because you could still navigate your GoPro, and that's extremely important. Target. This time of year, I mean, I don't know if I should say this time of year, because it's almost like 365 days out of the year we're buying something from Target anyways, but especially this time of year. I don't know about you guys, but that sign just, ugh. I hate shopping there. And they make it so easy too, you know, like when I'm at work, my wife will text me and be like, hey, I did a Target drive up, just stop through the drive-thru and pick up my order on your way home. I mean, that's too easy, Target. You're making it way too easy to take my money. Stop it. But anyways, that is gonna wrap up today's video, guys. I hope you liked my review of the Cortech Scarab 2.0 winter gloves, and if you're on the fence or on the market for a winter glove, these might be able to be something that will assist you ride year-round. So check them out. I got mine at RevZilla. I think you can find them at other, you know, online retailers as well. So find them, see if they're, you know, right for you, and let me know in the comments if you have a pair of these and whether or not you like them or not. If you like today's video, please click that like icon, hit that subscribe button, and while we're at it, don't forget to ring that bell notification to get email alerts when I upload some new content. Like always, I really appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in to another video, and this is MOTOSARGE signing out.